OGDuffy Eats. Find myself at the food warehouse. I've got to get something for my tea, so we're going to go in and choose something from the extra special range, because in my experience there's some tasty bits in there. Let's see what I can find. Let's see what I get. Let's do this. So headed into the food warehouse, which is also known as Iceland, guys, the luxury meals range. Now these are free for a tenner, and in my experience they're pretty tasty, and they all look absolutely stunning, mate. And have a look at that lot. Look, well, there's some real mixed range here. There's like the even the mushroom lasagna looks good to me, and I'm a big meat eater, but I could go in for some of that. Trust me. So you got nice pastas, you got the curries, you got a bit of everything. The cottage pies. So there really is something for everyone in this range. And as I keep saying, free for a tenner, guys. It really is cheap as chips, honestly. But I'll be honest, I mean, years ago, I think Iceland and that had a bit of a rough old name. It was some of the food they served up was a bit ropey. But now, do you know what? It's not too bad. I come in here quite a lot with little OG, and we do end up buying quite a few bits here. We're quite big fans of it ourselves, so can't complain anymore, guys. I think the one thing that used to be really rough was a prawn ring at Christmas time. But that said, I think I'll pay about £3 for it. So a king prawn ring for £3, that's why it was ropey. And I went for this pilau rice, the frozen one, instead of the Uncle Ben's one, because I thought, it's got to be better. Let's just keep it all same brand. So dinner all sorted, guys. I went for the extra special range, as I showed you. I've had some of them before, and I have to say they're really good. But tonight I fancy the curry, so I chose that chicken tikka masala simply because it's 2 chili rating on it compared to the other one, which I can't remember the name of, which only had the 1 chili rating. Bit of pilau rice. What's not to love with that, guys? But does it taste anything like a decent curry? So I always find these homemade curries in jars and all that, and never anything like the Indian. So let's get back. Let's give this a go. So I went for the curry, guys. I went for the chicken tikka masala. This is the luxury range by Iceland. Now, to be honest, I've had some luxury stuff from there before. I think I had the moussaka, and I have to say it was really nice. We'll have a look at the cooking instructions and the worst bits of that in a minute, i.e. the fat levels and stuff. Hey, it's luxury, so you don't mind if it's a bit dodged, do you? And I bought this pilau rice to go with it. I did look at the Uncle Ben's rice and that, but this was as cheap, and I figure it's got to taste better, innit? Or has it? Anyway, grab a beer, look at these labels and cooking instructions, and get it in the microwave, guys. Proper hydrated with a nice Stella. Now, I'll have this while it's cooking, and then we're going to look at the instruction manuals together and the fat levels. Let's see how bad this actually is. So this is it, guys, the luxury range chicken tikka masala. Now, what I chose this one over the other one is because it had 2 out of 3 chilies in terms of heat. Now, when I typically have an Indian takeaway or restaurant meal, I generally have madras, so I never really go for this. This is usually quite a mild curry. Right, okay, on to the instructions here, the cooking instructions. Microwave 9 minutes from frozen, so that's not too bad. And I've had these before and they've been microwave. But let's look at these values, the nutritional information here. Right, so this is per 100 grams. Now, bear in mind, this is a 400 gram meal. So energy is 162 calories. Blimey, that's quite a bit. Fat 9.7, of which saturated is 4 grams. So this is a pretty bad curry for you in terms of fat and stuff. But that tells me, guys, I reckon that's going to make it quite tasty, you know. Anyway, remove it out of packaging and pierce the film lid several times. Place on a microwave plate. Cook for 5 minutes. Stir, ensuring the chicken pieces are in the sauce. Cook for another 4 minutes. Let stand for a minute. And bish, bong, bosh, bang. We're ready. Let's take a look inside here. Now, I'll be honest, I'm looking at them bits of chicken, and they look pretty big. But exactly how processed they are, we have yet to find out. So that's that. Now, where's my pilau rice? There it is, the takeaway pilau. Again, microwave job, but let's look at the good stuff here, the nutritional values. There we go. Again, as per pack, this one, that's easier then. 491 calories, 5.7 grams of fat of 0.7 grams of which is saturated. So actually this ain't too bad, but let's be honest, it's just a plain sort of pilau rice. I just preferred this to the Uncle Ben's, you know. There it is, it's quite a big portion, so I probably won't eat all that. But anyway, get this in the microwave, get this cooked, and bish bosh, happy days. Peeling this lid off now, guys, and then we give it a good old stir up and get it back in there. I don't know if you're meant to cover it back up. Right, now, I'll be honest, it doesn't look that great. But I'll tell you one thing, right, them big old chunks of chicken in there. I'll tell you what, though, right, that ain't smelling too bad at the moment. Bit watery in the bottom there. But I'm guessing, as it cooks through, that's going to sort of dissolve a bit, or, you know, go off a bit. But it's looking better now I've stirred it. Get that back in, do it for the last 5 minutes, and let's stand for that 1 minute. So as you just saw there, I mean, it's half cooked now. It's in for the next 5 minutes. So I'm hoping the colour changes. When I was mixing it there, it was changing up a bit. So it wasn't looking so grey, so to speak. Big old lumps of chicken in there. Probably a bit processed and the rest of it. But hey, you know, it is what it is. It's a ready meal, guys. Let's remember that. But I'll tell you one thing, though. It is smelling very, very nice. Now, that's just finishing off. Let's have this little debate now about Indian food. Why is it that you can't buy a sauce off the shelf, like a patak sauce and all that, and it tastes anywhere near as good as sort of the takeaway or the restaurant? You just, no home curries seem to come near that. So I'm hoping this at least tries to attempt it. But do you guys know any that do? If so, please drop in the comments any suggestions for me to try. Honestly, please do, because I've been intrigued to hear your thoughts. Oh, a couple more minutes to go. A couple more of these and I'll be getting my beer on, ready for my Ruby Murray. Oh, yes. All done, all microwaved, all ready to consume. Now, as I've already said, that curry smells quite nice, but as always, the proof is in the eating, so to speak. Right, I'm going to get some pilau rice in here. I'm not going to go mad with this, actually, because, you know, that'll do. There's too much there. The pilau rice looks all right. Let's taste a bit of that. Looks quite fluffy, looks quite nice. Smells all right. Eat pilau rice, guys. Nothing wrong with that. So far, so good. Try some of that curry. Now for the good stuff, guys. As I say, I've been looking forward to this. So get that in there. I'm just going to pour it all in. I mean, look, it looks actually all right. You know, as I say, when I first put it in, it didn't look a very nice colour, but now it looks all right. Get all that sauce in there, because I don't want to miss it. I should have got a naan bread, really, and just add that naan bread to sop all that up, really, you know. Oh, yes. I am looking forward to this. Right, first things first, let's get a bit of that chicken there. Look, big old lump of chicken. They're not bad sized pieces of chicken, actually. I mean, as you can see, they're quite large. Obviously, sort of Tikka grilled or something, as you can see there. Hey, let's try a bit of the chicken first. Here's the chicken. Smells all right. Going straight in. Well, the chicken is quite flavoursome. It's probably processed to heck, you know what I mean? But so far, so good. Let's mix this up. Let's taste it as a curry in itself. There we go. Mix it all up. Not going to mix it all. Put a bit of dryness, a bit of chicken in there. Let's get that a taste. Plenty of sauce on that. So let's see how it is. Here we go, guys. Am I going to be pleased? Let's try this. Okay. Let's try another bit of that. Okay. Initial thoughts. Actually quite sweet. Getting a little heat now. A bit more. Know what's missing though, don't we? Gotta have a beer with it, ain't we? Come on, we are British after all. Okay, I'm gonna have a bit more, then I'll give you my verdict. So my thoughts, guys, right, I'll be honest, I'm mixing this up. It's quite tasty. Do you know what? Instead of the rice, I think it would have been a bit better with just like a naan bread. I really do. But it's sweet. It's tasty. For me personally, I'd have liked it hotter. It still tastes like a microwave, you know, cook at home curry. Hasn't got that restaurant taste or takeaway flavour. But all in all, out of 10, what am I giving that? It's not as bad as you'd imagine. And these meals are free for a tenner. And as you can see, there's a huge range and there's some really good looking stuff in there. As I say, I've had the moussaka before and that was beautiful. It really was. Is this a bad curry? No, it's not. It's very, very edible. And I mean, it's great. If you come home for like having a few beers down the pub and you fancy you know, a snack. It's not really a snack, is it? It's more a meal. As you see by the fat levels and stuff, it's pretty heavy. But, you know what? Ain't half bad for an evening meal. The heat is growing on me. So, all in all, not too bad. Chicken Tikka Masala Iceland, the luxury range. I'll be honest, right? It's not half bad. The problem is, as I said right at the beginning, I'm a Madras sort of man. I do like a Madras curry. So, a Madras heat is more my sort of thing. All in all, they weren't too bad. You get the heat after a little bit, but it's not a major heat. But hey, it's a chicken tikka masala. So you wouldn't expect it to be, would you, really? Would I buy it again? Yeah, I probably would, to be fair. But looking at that luxury range, I'd probably try a few of the other curries as well. Would I have them regularly? No. I'll be honest, the fat level and the calorific intake on them is pretty heavy. But hey, I don't have Indian that often. And when I do, I always choose to go to a restaurant. I prefer a restaurant or a decent takeaway. I've got a decent restaurant, Maharani. I do like going there in my local town. And there's a takeaway I like using as well, which is Humaria, which is beautiful as well for a takeaway. Would I have it again? Yes, I would, as I say, but only as a sort of a meal like tonight. You know, I fancy a curry. Oh yeah, go and pick one up. You know, and at £3, you can't go wrong. So now for my score. As I say, it's not strong enough for me. I like a bit more heat, you know what I mean? Bit more spice in my life, guys. But all in all, that's pretty good. The pilau rice was tasty as well. You know, it just goes with it nicely. But as I said, next time I'll probably just have it with a naan bread. I think it'd be better, like, you know. Plenty of sauce and that in there. It's quite aftertaste. It's not bad. It's not bad. Quite salty to begin with. Do you know what? I'm gonna give that a 7.5 out of 10, a 7.5 out of 10. But 3 of them luxury meals for a tenner. Honestly, cheap as chips, isn't it? I mean, you've got £3.33 reoccurring each. Happy days. Anyway, I've been OGDuffy Eats, guys. You have been awesome as always. Thank you for watching. Thank you for doing everything you do. But remember, comment, please. Let me know your thoughts on curry meals here in the UK you can buy to do at home, whether it's in a jar, or if it's pataks, whatever. Is there any that come close to sort of the you know, restaurant style that we're used to? I mean, I've had a go at making the base gravy myself once or twice, and that's great. But I just want convenience now. I don't want to spend hours slaving over a stove. Anyway, let me have your comments. And as always, if you don't already do so, hit that subscribe button and that little bell, of course, because, hey, ding-a-ling-a-ling, it'll give you the notifications when I've done a new thing. Anyway, guys, stay safe, look after yourselves, and as always, this beer is for you. Laters.